We're coming to you live tonight from our nation's capital ahead of the inauguration of our 45th president. Mr. Trump wasted no time in draining the swamp. He's looking to cut $10.5 trillion in government spending over the next decade. That, according to a report on the Hill, which says the president-elect and his team are proposing dramatic funding cuts as well as eliminating programs in a number of departments, including commerce and energy. Well, joining me now, Trump campaign economics advisor Steve Moore. Steve, great to have you here. A great night.
Hello.
A great day.
This is so awesome. Thank you for inviting me on the show. What a view we've got here.
It's our pleasure, and I'll tell you, we couldn't have imagined a year and a half ago that this would be where we would be. Well, we could have imagined.
Or that you'd have a presidential candidate that's, an incoming president that would want to cut $10 trillion out of the budget over the next 10 years. And that's very possible. It's plausible. It has to be done if we're going to do the...
How about cutting 20% from the government payrolls?
Did you see 1/3 of the federal employees have said that they're going to walk out? So you just got 1/3 right there. It's easy.
You got a bonus of 13%.
Right. But look, this is serious stuff. Republicans want to cut taxes. They want to increase spending on the military and on infrastructure. That means almost everything else, Lou, is going to have to get cut, and it's about time. I mean, there was a report just a couple of months ago by the federal government's own auditors. 165 billion, not million, 165 billion of erroneous and fraudulent payments every year under Medicaid, Social Security, Medicare, food stamps.
What would you say?
And no one ever does anything about it.
Well, and it was a few years ago. It was 200 billion was the best estimate.
I guess we've improved a little bit.
So there's an improvement, but it's still 165 billion dollars. And the problem is there isn't a person. I doubt that there are many people, I should say, watching and listening to us here tonight who don't know that this government doesn't work.
Everyone knows that except the people here. Well, yeah. That's been the problem.
Those and all of the folks who are supporting it on K Street.
Yes.
Oops, we're saying this in the...
Right. We're on I Street, so it's right over there.
We're saying that right here on the ceiling.
Well, this will be the test
of the Chamber of Commerce.
This will be the test of Donald Trump, whether he has the mettle and the spine to go after K Street. I've been here for 30 years. Ronald Reagan tried it. He couldn't do it. Bill Clinton tried it.
We're talking about a different fellow.
Oh, that's true.
I will make you any bet you want at any level. Donald Trump won't back off.
I hope you're right.
There's no back. I haven't seen any backup in the man whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I think one of the great mysteries here is the number of people in this town who can't figure out one reality about Donald Trump, his personality, his character. To this point, before taking the oath of office, he is working to deliver on his promises.
Yes.
I mean, you've never seen that.
And and
I include Ronald Reagan, by the way, in that. No one could be a bigger fan of him.
I'll tell you a quick story. When I was coming over here, all the roads are closed here, so I had to take the metro. And there's so many, thousands and tens of thousands of people around, and people were just coming up to me all over the place. They've seen me on Fox News, and they were embracing me, and they said, "Make sure Donald Trump says what he's going to do." I met this little old lady from Rhode Island. I didn't even know there were Republicans in Rhode Island, but she was so excited, and she said, "We've got to get this done, drain the swamp." So the American people are behind Donald Trump. You're right. Sure. He's going to be fighting everybody in this town. You make it sound easier than it is, though, Lou. This is going to be extraordinary. It's like extracting wisdom teeth in this town to cut the budget.
I tell you part of the reason. I don't mean to suggest it's easy at all. But what I do mean to suggest to you and to everyone is Donald Trump is an exceptional leader. He's an exceptional man. And these people, frankly, this is not a fair fight right now. I mean, it really is not. The number of billionaires and friends of Donald Trump who told me, for example, Donald Trump can't do this when he was running for office. I've been friends with him forever, but, this is just beyond his this or whatever. Every one of them right now is trying to find out a way to say, "Hey, Don, good to see you, buddy. We've been pals forever." And they're trying to
want something.
They want something. That's exactly it. They're trying to insinuate their way in.
Right.
and I don't think it's working for them.
You know, I hope you're right about that. You know, when you drain the swamp, that means you have to drain the special interest influence in this town. You have to do it through the tax changes. We want to get rid of the deductions, loopholes. You have to do it through the spending. You've got to do it through a lot of these regulations. And by the way, the trade stuff, too. We got all these special interest provisions and the trade provisions. You know, let's make it a level playing field so everybody is, you know.
Think about where we were a year and a half ago as a country before Donald Trump, a little over a year and a half ago, before he entered the race. He set the agenda, talking about illegal immigration
and trade,
talking about trade in real terms, talking about bringing jobs back. Every one of the hacks in the national left-wing media said, oh, he's full of it, he can't do this.
Not just the left-wing media.
Well, I understand.
Media
I was about to start work on the right-wing media as well, who think, well, first of all, most of them are under contract to corporate America. And people need to, you know, but there's this, I think he's reignited a spirit that, you know, it's going to be.
I've never seen anything like it. I'm so excited. I want Trump to gallop out of the gates on Monday. I want him to start. There was a rumor that he might start signing these executive orders when in his limousine going down Pennsylvania Avenue tomorrow, repealing a lot of these orders that Obama's put in place. And the American people will cheer him if he does that.
I think there is no doubt. And I certainly would be amongst those.
$10 trillion of cuts over 10 years. We haven't seen anything like that. It can be done. Only a businessman who knows how to match revenues with spending, an alien concept in this town, could pull that off.
I agree with you, and it's really funny to see the Chinese move from warning Donald Trump about his exuberance to do the right thing for the American people to maybe we can work it out. We don't want a trade war, to the Europeans who are acknowledging now they don't know what the hell they're doing and are paying stiff penalties for their statism.
One last
real quick.
I think he's going to face the stiffest resistance is going to come from a lot of the Republicans. They don't want to cut the budget either.
You mean Paul Ryan?
Well, just the
Republicans. You mean Paul Ryan?
No, I mean just everybody. I'm not naming names here. But Republicans,
I do.
They don't want to cut the budget.
I'll take care of that part.
They say they do, but they don't.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? You can lead a horse to water.
You've got it.
All right.
You got it. This man can.
Steve Moore, it's great to see you. And congratulations. A special evening for you, working so hard to bring policy into line.
I had the time of my life with this guy. He is a different political leader than I've ever seen in my life.
Super. We appreciate everything you're doing. Steve Moore.